Hi, I'm Gary. I'm a CEM student this year. I'm going to talk about the summer project in the PolyU. The summer project is divided into 6 days. The first day is about the NDT test and the anchoring. For the NDT test, it divides into several parts. The first part is the rebound hammer test. It is used to detect the surface hardness of the concrete. The second one is the half cell potential test. It can be measured the corrosion of the reinforcement in the concrete. And the third one is the infrared thermographic survey. It can show the object's temperature inside the concrete. After learning the NDT test, I knew that we can maintain the quality of the construction very simple. After the NDT test is the part of anchoring. There are two major types of anchor, which is mechanical type and adhesive type. And we are focusing in the mechanical type in this workshop. The function of the anchor is to attach the objects or structures to the concrete. And here is the procedure for the anchoring. Firstly, we need to drill a hole. Secondly, we should use a pump to pump out the dust, otherwise the anchor may not be installed because the anchor may affect by the dust. After that, we can install the anchor by the hammer. And finally, the anchor was installed. These two things are the things that we learned on the first day. On the second day is a formwork session. Formwork is an important thing during the construction. In this task, we need to build up a timber formwork. We divide into several groups. Each group has 5 students. Firstly, we need to calculate the dimension of the timber components. After calculating the dimension of the formwork, a student should cut the timber panel into smaller size by the sawing machine. After that, we can saw the timber by hand into the smaller size that we calculated. Then, we can make the timber surface smoother. After that, we can use the hammer to mount the nail to the timber to connect the timber, and finally the formwork is finished. There is an important thing to remind. That because of the sewing machine is very dangerous, the safety requirements should be provided, such as goggles, gloves, and safety helmets should be used. On the third day workshop is about the steel. It divides into 2 parts. The first is the NDT test. For the NDT test, we use the die for testing the welding of the steel plate. After the NDT test, there is another task, is to make a steel desk. In this task, we need to build up a steel desk. We divide into several groups. Each group contains 5 students. Firstly, we need to calculate the dimension of the steel components. After calculating the dimension of the steel, we can start to cut the steel into the size that we calculated by the sewing machine. After we saw the steel need to drill 2 holes. Then we can use a chalk to draw a few lines on the leg of the table in order to find the place to drill. After drawing the lines, we can start drilling the hole on the leg by the drilling machine. When we drilling the hole, the safety requirements should be wear, such as safety helmets and goggles. During the drilling process of the hole, lubrication is used to reduce the friction and cool down the steel. After drilling the hole, we can use bolts and nails to fix the steel components and legs together. The final process is welding. Welding can provide stronger strength to withstand the load acting on the desk, so that the desk can be receive much more loading. On the fourth day is about brickwork and plastering. The first thing we do is lay the bricks, and here is the procedure of laying the bricks. Firstly, we should clean the desk. After that, we should use a chalkboard to draw a straight line for the fixing position. Thirdly, we can place a motor on the working platform. After that, we can place the bricks above the motor. Then we need to repeat these steps until the brick wall is finished. After the brickwork is the part of the plastering, and the plastering is divided into two parts. The first part is wall tiling. Firstly, we need to mark the line of the ink. Secondly, we should use the timber to provide the temporary support. Thirdly, we need to paste the cement mortar onto the wall to adhesive the tiles. Then we should repeat this step until the wall tile is finished. The second part is the floor tiling. Firstly, we need to mix the cement and the sand together to form a base. After that, we need to add more cement and sand together to form another layer. After the layer is formed, we should use a leveler to ensure that the layer is level. After that, we can paste the tiles on the layer. After placing the tiles on the layers, we can spread the water and cement on the surface of tiles. Finally, we should remove the cover of the tiles, and the floor tiling is finished. On the fifth day is a task to build up a scaffolding. And here is the procedure for building the scaffolding. Firstly, the manager should use the detail to design the building procedure of the scaffold. Secondly, the builder should use the leveler to ensure the horizontal and vertical distance are in the same level. Then, the builder should place the vertical support of the scaffolding. Then we can construct the upper floor of the scaffold, and the scaffold is finished. On the sixth day is about the structural concrete. In this stage, the first job is making a concrete cube. Here is the procedure. Firstly, we need to weigh the materials. After that, we can fix the materials. And we need to ensure the surface of the cube is smooth. Finally, the concrete cube is formed. After to prepare the concrete cube, there is another task on this day. It is to concreting an I-shaped formwork. After the mixing, we can use some of the mixture for the slump test to test the workability. Then we can put the concrete into the I-shaped formwork. The I-shaped formwork was prepared 5 days ago in the formwork session. Finally, the I-shaped concrete was prepared. On the 7th day is also about the concrete. The first job we do is the compression test. Firstly, we need to take out the concrete cube that we formed yesterday. Secondly, we use the compression testing machine to test the compression strength of the concrete cube. Thirdly, the concrete will flare and the compression strength can be worked out. The other part is the reinforcement fixing. Firstly, we use the cutting machine to cut the steel bar into the desired strength. Then, we should bend the steel bar to the square shape. After that, we can go to the cage to fix the steel bar that provided by the tutors, and the reinforcement is finished.